One of the reasons that may delay the completion of repair works on the Akpogmo section of the Eko Bridge is the presence of some traders who are yet to leave despite several warnings. While inspecting ongoing emergency repair works, the Minister of Works and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, gave a 30-day ultimatum to occupants under the Eko Bridge and other bridges in Lagos to vacate or risk forceful eviction.
Under the Ojaoba section of the Third Mainland Bridge, a beehive of activity. It serves as a home for some, stores for others, and for others, an auto mechanic hub. To avoid a repeat of the recent fire incident at the Akpogmo Bridge, the Minister of Works and Housing is here to start the process of clearing all the 105 bridges in Lagos and, by extension, the over 1,700 nationwide. After long deliberation, they are to vacate the space within a month, starting from May 10th.
I haven't reached a year that I came here. When they say we should move now, there's no any space that we want to keep all these things. So maybe if they can give us a chance after a year, so we can move. If they can do that for us.
The inspection team moves to Onikon-Obalende Bridge with the same message of eviction.
If I didn't want to give you a chance, I would have just told the controller to come and clear this place. So I decided to come myself, to come and engage with you so that we have an understanding. First, we don't first agree that this is not right. So the federal government has decided we are going to clear this under this. But we want to engage people to move voluntarily because you came voluntarily. And I don't think it's nice sending law enforcement to come and come here. You don't want your things to be damaged. So instead of evicting you, we think that it is sensible that you can move voluntarily. And find there is land in Lagos.
As in the other place, the occupants here are not pleased with the ultimatum, but being a directive, they have no choice.
For us to live here, I didn't say what they are saying, what the minister is talking about, or the state government is not right. When we are to go, now, that is the problem. And when are we going to be, convenient in where they are taking us to? Because we don't even know the particular place we are going. I don't have any alternative because this is what I used to feed my family. So if I violate this place now, I don't know next thing to do. Yes, if I vacate this place, I don't know what else to do until I get another place to work.
Next is the burnt and dilapidated Akpogmo section of Eko Bridge. Scars are still fresh, but rehabilitation is ongoing. After the inspection, the minister hosts a media interaction where a comprehensive review, including the scope of work for emergency repair on the burnt section of Eko Bridge, is presented by the contractor.
We have been doing some repair works, some emergency repair works on Eko Bridge. For instance, if we want to go to the changing of bearings, we have already changed 20 bearings so far, and now the Honourable Minister wants us to change a total of 286. So that is 266 in addition to 20. Also, for the expansion joints, we are going to change a total of 778 linear meters of expansion joints, about 8,772 linear meters. We have been doing some work, but there are some additional works now which will account for the comprehensive repair works. Okay? Now, how are we going to do this? Of course, we cannot just start anyhow. we have categorized the work and put it in priorities. For instance, we have priorities A to G, and we have, we have categories A to G, and we have priorities 1 to 5. So, like for instance, priority 1 is category A and category E. What does it mean? It means that the bearings here are in a very, very critical condition, and we have to start here and here. Then we move to category D, which falls under priority 2.
The details of the technicalities involved in the rehabilitation work is clarified by directors in the ministry.
The presentation highlighted the damages, the existing damages on the bridge, the bearings that are gone, the expansion joint, the work on the piers, the exposed reinforcement and tendons. All these were highlighted in the presentation. And the work that is going to be done is purely changing of the bearing, replacement of the expansion joint. The method to be used were enumerated clearly, which is by jacketing and shoring.
A calamity was averted in this state in March 2020 when that bridge was almost coming down. It was almost a calamity that was averted. But we thank God that it didn't happen and that all hands are on deck. They are fixing it. Federal government is fixing it. He also told you that there are 105 bridges in Lagos, and out of which this government has worked on about 22. And you all know those critical ones. And these are bridges that have been neglected in the past.
And what will the traffic look like when the rehabilitation is on?
Cars can pass. It's only trucks. You know, there is a way trucks have been controlled in the past. So it may not impact too much on maybe people going to work and the rest of them. So, and the essence of all this is that we are not trying to press a panic button. Nobody should panic. This is a job that is under control. It's highly scientific and the contractor has the tools to accomplish it.
The repair is projected to last for 24 months, with plans in place to control traffic in order to avoid protracted traffic jams while the project lasts.
Before we leave, let me remind you that the program is made possible by both the production crew and eyewitnesses who, through their mobile devices, report happenings in their neighborhood. With pictures and videos sent to us, we follow up to tell stories from the eyewitness perspective. So why not join the band by uploading yours to the Eyewitness platform, located on the Channels TV mobile app, which can be downloaded from online stores. Now let's see some of the eyewitness images sent in for the week.
This segment of the program begins with videos and pictures of students of the University of Benin protesting the extension of the strike embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU. The students marched through the streets leading to the Federal Secretariat in Benin City. They reiterated their resolve to put pressure on government to ensure that the misunderstanding between ASUU and the federal government is settled so that they can return to classes. The next picture from Lagos captures the bad state of a network of roads in the Akoka-Bariga area of the state. The Eyewitness reporter alleges that the road construction, which commenced 3 years ago, is allegedly abandoned and has brought untold hardship to residents. He is appealing to the Lagos State Governor to ensure that the road is completed.
Thank you for those pictures and videos. We hope to get more from you. That's where we draw the curtains on this edition of the program. Let's do it again, same time next week. I'm Yomi Otaigbe. Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television. Concerns over consistent flooding in Lagos Island resurface as residents allege government's neglect. We also return to the burned section of the Akpongbo end of Eko Bridge in Lagos with an update on repair works and the evacuation of traders from the disaster area. We return shortly for details of this and more on the program. I am Yomi Otaigbe. As one of the vulnerable coastal cities in the world, Lagos stands the risk of flooding, which many say could be linked to climate change. However, the magnitude of flooding being experienced in Lagos Island prompted a renewed call by some residents for the state government's intervention. Some eyewitness images showing the impact of flood on their livelihood takes us to Jankara and other affected communities in Lagos Island.
The Lagos state government predicted an annual rainfall amount of 1,750 millimeters with about 250 to 300 days of rainfall across the state in 2022. This, according to the Lagos State Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources, will amount to a 2,700 millimeter rain pattern of high intensity and frequency similar to what was experienced in 2021. This prediction comes with attendant socio-economic and environmental implications like flooding, especially in low-lying areas. A densely populated Lagos Island is one of the areas that bear the brunt of the rainfall, with streets around Idumagbo, Jankara, Igadugoran and Ojogiwa, amongst others, retaining the water for months. To visit these areas, one must be armed with rain boots and be ready to wade through the stagnant, dark and smelly water. And if you are unlucky to come in contact with the water, you may need to visit the doctor, says one of the traders in the Jankara business area.
The problem this flooding is causing is very terrible. It will even cause an epidemic. The health hazard is unquantifiable. When you stay in that environment, the stench coming from that water is nothing to write home about. Even as an adult, you keep getting sick often and on, and then you begin to wonder, how about the kids?
There are a number of schools in the domain, and children are also exposed to the danger that lurks in the water that has refused to go away. A greater danger may await with the foundation of houses around this area soaking up water daily.
We have about 3 big government schools. You know, we also have a Catholic school, St. Patrick Catholic School. They have a primary school too. So all those schools, the kids, you watch them every morning, put their legs in that water, come to school. They put their legs, go back home. For myself, if mistakenly I step my feet in that water, in fact, I need to sterilize my leg. So I begin to imagine these kids that will put their leg inside that water and then stay all through the day in school and go back with that same feet. It's terrible.
The residents and business owners say they are tired of what seems like a neglect by the Lagos state government.
We can't continue doing business within this locality as it is now. We are out of business. Every one of us cannot do anything. And this is our means of livelihood.
And the bitter thing about the whole thing is that despite the fact that the local government people knows what we are going through, yet they came to collect lock-up shop, 7,500 naira per each shop. It's very bitter. And the money is not going to the account of the government, because I know very well, because my son is going to a government school. We pay through remittance. The account they gave us is a private account. It's a personal account. Please, government, come to our aid. After collecting the lock-up shop, they will come and collect sample or I don't know. trade permit, which they will not even give us a certificate or something to show off that we paid. We are paying into a personal account. Government, please come to our aid.
Bearing placards, they march to where they claim is the source of their problem, the land reclamation site at Ilubirin. They call on the state government to prevail on the developers to remove the blockade to their drains.
Ever since the time they blocked the water here at this Ilubirin, we have been experiencing serious blockage of the drainages. And every time we come here, they will tell us that they are doing something, that the governor instructed them that they should do it so that the water won't be flowing again into our estate. But ever since the time they've done it, we have been experiencing serious damages.
This drainage channel, they do before, the pipe was 11 in number, 11 big one. But now you can see that this pipe now is 3, 4, is 3 in number, and the water is not moving as expected. So please, let the government of Lagos State come to our aid and help us so that we can be able to transact our business. We are tired of all this ugly situation.
Mr. OLUMIDE ADENIRAN says the problem of flooding has been on for over a decade.
The problem we are facing here started as far back as 15 years ago. In the last tenure, in the last regime of Fashola, then we started looking at this thing as a little problem that time. Then when it got to certain years, around 5 years later, the thing started again. It now started escalating bit by bit. Before we know, the thing has got out of hand. And many people have tried, even including the whole market. In this area, we have all tried all our possible best to get this thing away from our side. Then we even wrote many letters to the local government. We went there to go and do so many meetings with them. But these people will say, we are coming today, we are coming tomorrow. Before this thing now get out of hand like this, because I know the problem we are facing here, I don't think local government can be able to tackle it. I must tell you the refer. This thing is going to be there's going to be a state-oriented project if they wanted to help us out. Because when you see that road, Igaidugu, that is the road that linked to the palace of Lagos, of which people are just looking at us like that. They don't even care. They don't care about what is going to happen with us.
Findings reveal that the blockade is also worsened by human factors, like the dumping of refuse into the drains. While these residents wait on government's intervention, we ask about their individual and communal efforts to desilt wastewater channels in their neighborhood.
When you see this canal, we are packed it on several bases by the market people. We gather money, contribute money. We even see some people that volunteer, that you people have tried. They bring a large some amount of money to get it clear. We are still facing it. Then when we go to government, the government tells us that this problem is not by you. You people are putting something inside gutter. What are we putting inside gutter? That you people cannot take care of us. We normally pay our dues yearly. Local government will come. If you refuse to pay, they will lock up your shop. Of which there is nothing you can do to them. Then if you fight them, you are in trouble. Then we are facing water issue. Nobody come to our rescue. So we are now appealing to them today that they should please come to our rescue. People are crying here.
The state government acknowledges the peculiarity of the area and has mapped out plans to tackle the challenges.
Part of what we are doing is to look at the entire thing and see, okay, we have discovered that the sea is slightly higher than the island. So what does that tell you? Our drainage channels will not be able to flow by gravity. So we need some form of mechanical support system to make sure that we're able to. And how do we do that? You first of all try to ring off your area where you want to pump to. You want to make sure that it does not come back to you. And one of the things that I would like to ask, that I asked them was, this time last year, that retaining wall was not there. Did they not have the same issue? In fact, it was a lot more. Now, the thing with us human beings is, each year we always assume that, oh, this year is worse than because we must have maybe enjoyed some months of respite. But what we know, which since, as I said, we are monitoring this thing on a daily basis. So we know that the flood that we have there last year is far more than what we have now. Last year, the whole of Idumagbo, the whole of Ojogiwa, now that they even have some level of respite, I will attribute that to the fact that we have a late rainy season now, but we have also started pumping. Just last week, we introduced additional pumps. But meanwhile, those pumps that you saw are still temporary measures. The plan is to have a permanent pumping station with a higher capacity pump, more of industrial pump of 3,000 meter cube per second. We only need one. But because of the sensitivity of that area, we are getting 3. Why 3? We want to make sure that at all times, whether rainy season or no rainy season, we are sure that we've introduced some redundancy in the system. Redundancy in the sense that even if we have an unusual rainfall, which is one of the characteristics of climate change, if we have an unusual raining event, our pumps will still be able to cope. What are we doing? We've designed that we know the volume of water we are expecting. We know all that within the next 50-year range. But should we have a 100-year rainfall, we have that system to cope with it. So that is the message we are trying to tell them, that between now and the next 4 to 6 months, that thing will be done. But in the meantime, we're just going to fold our hands. That's why we have to introduce that temporary measure to make sure that the flooding does not exacerbate or does not get far beyond what we can cope with. I understand that it is an economic area that we should not allow any form of flooding. But you must also understand that one of the things that they mentioned was that over the last 15, 20 years, by the way, I was born in that area, so I understand the terrain. I know what is happening there. One of the ladies mentioned about Ansarudin Mosque. One also mentioned St. Patrick's School. These are areas that have been in flood for ages. But we will not just say because they have been, so we should leave it. No, we must make sure that we change the game this time around and make sure that things are done properly.
Upon our visit again to the spot allegedly affecting the flow of water, a channel had been opened up. The special advisor to the governor on drainage services reiterates the state government's resolve to end the problem.
Right now, people doing construction here cannot have access to they don't have another gate, they're doing one. They wanted to get permits so that we can have this place. They wanted to get permit from federal government to be able to remove the barricade. There's a gate there, but there's a barricade. So they need to get a permit from the Ministry of Works, Federal Ministry of Works, to be able to open that gate. Once they open it, they now have an access. We'll then open this place permanently and then build our pumping station to prevent the one flowing, the occasional flooding they used to have August, September, permanent solution.
Every raindrop sends shivers down the spines of these Lagos Island residents, and their condition might be a precursor to experts' prediction that the city could become inhabitable due to climate change in some years to come. Whatever measure is required to avert this danger is best applied now than later.